What is up, YouTube adventure family? Today is a super exciting day. This is something that I've had my eyes on for quite some time. This is a personal choice of mine. I've really seeked this bike out on purpose. But coming in at 1949, we're about to look at the most fun e-bike out there, probably the most popular e-bike out there right now. And I want to tell you some of the reasons why I chose this e-bike, and hopefully this will give you an idea if this is the right e-bike for you. Now keep in mind, I am 6'3", my inseam is 34 inches long. So I'm gonna stand on the bike with it just upright, no suspension right now, I'm not gonna sit on it. So this is what it looks like before I'm sitting on this bike. Now I have tightened up the suspension, stiffened up the suspension on the front and rear, just to allow me to fit my weight better. I'm 175 pounds. And when I sit on this bike now, you can see how it compresses quite a bit. I want a bunch of travel. A huge reason I got this e-bike is for the travel. I really needed something, especially in that rear. I was just lacking on all of my bikes. I either had bikes that didn't have any suspension at all, or just front suspension, or had front suspension with rear suspension that just wasn't adequate for my weight, or the bike really for that matter. But this right here is just like really sitting on a cloud. And I want to talk about the pedal stroke here. A lot of people talk about the pedal stroke. This is at the lower position, as you can see. Within this is my weight on the bike as well, so the suspension is compressed. And I wanted to show you the full top as well. And here's the top. As you can see, it's kind of high, it's well risen, and it's a lot like a BMX style kind of pedal stroke on this bike, because after all, everybody's going to be using this pretty much for the throttle only anyways. But just in case you do want to pedal it, just in case you run out of juice, it's really nice to have these gears. It's really nice to have these pedals as well. Big reason for the pedal stroke on the Ghostcat F3 also is when you're in this position right here, you have a lot of ground clearance. And being a big time dirt bike rider, I've ridden dirt bikes for over 40 years, and I can tell you having that ground clearance right there is absolutely huge. Even though there's no controller there anymore in the Ghostcat, they have upgraded that where there's not a controller there anymore, so you have even more ground clearance. It's really nice to have that pedaling system actually raised and shorter for going off-road and using that suspension in the proper places. So having your feet up here and having that ground clearance in this pedal system, in this short pedaling ratio, is really, really, really nice to have. Okay, now that we're going to just stick with the suspension for a little bit, I want to show you the D&M Burner RCP2S. This is the same suspension setup that's on the Sur-Ron, and even, doesn't that look familiar? And that's what's making it super, super cushy. So you can adjust it here on the ring by compressing the spring. You could adjust it a little bit here. You could also adjust the compression of here and the rebound down here. So it's a fully adjustable rear suspension. Moving on to the front, we do have just some really, really nice looking front forks here. They're totally adjustable too. You could adjust the compression and the rebound there as well. Okay, now going on to the tires, we have the Chow Yang Big Daddies. These have the shark skin on them. It's going to help a lot with the prevention of getting any flats, any seeps, anything that's going to stop you from having a really, really good day. I've also noticed these tires seem a little bit sturdier than what's coming on most of these e-bikes standard. These tires seem a little bit more knobbier, a little bit higher quality, and a little bit stronger sidewall as well. So having a little bit more puncture resistant on this is super, super great to have. And the recommended PSI on these tires is 20 PSI. And helping out with the suspension and these big old honking tires, we've got some 4-piston hydraulic brakes right here with 203 rotors, and they look super, super beefy. And the same on the rear right here. And before I forget, we got some rear passenger foot pegs that fold down. Super handy in case you're needing to give a friend a ride late at night. Moving on back to the motor here, we have the Zofo motor. Now I've seen these motors on some super, super high dollar e-bikes, okay? This is a 1500 watt nominal motor peaking over 2000 watts. And I imagine peaking quite a bit over 2000 watts because this e-bike has, get this, 140 Newton meters of torque, but it's got a 40 amp controller in it. That's right, a 40 amp controller. Speaking of the controller, it's located underneath the seat. Okay, now moving on to the seat here. I really like this seat. I really like the narrowness of it. You could pedal really well. It's like a dirt bike, motocross inspired seat. I really like it. You can upgrade it with a Tapia seat if need be, but it's definitely not necessary. I think this seat's super comfortable, but if you want to upgrade it, you have that option. All right, now moving on to the battery. I want to show you this thing. This battery's super impressive. Just want to show you some of the specs on the battery. We'll unlock it here. So to unlock it, just put the key in, hit the unlock. I usually turn the battery off before I take it off anyway, and it's just a lift up and pop it out. Now check this out. But go ahead, take a snapshot of that if you want. That's the specs of the battery, 52 volt, 20 amp hour, maxing out at 50 amps. That's a big old honking battery. It's pretty heavy. I think it weighs close to 9 pounds. When you're putting it on the bracket, be sure that you get the contacts lined up as well as the little grooves. Make sure that you have it in the unlocked position. Make sure it's evenly set on. You slide it down, locked in, and give it a couple tosses and turns, you know, before you take off on your bike. Make sure the battery's turned back on. We're gonna go ahead and turn on the display. Super easy. The display button's right here. And it powers on. It's color display. It not only gives you a bar of how much power you still have left, it gives you the volts. That's super, super important. Now, if you want to turn on your headlights, you just hold down the headlight button. It will dim your display down, turn it on the headlights. But I took this thing out for trick or treat. It was absolutely amazing. As you can see, the headlights, they work super, super great. I had no problem riding around. I mean, you can see they were more than enough. And you could kind of, once I got it adjusted and tilted, I didn't have any problems at all with the headlight. It was more than what I needed. I didn't need any supplemental lighting or whatever. The taillights were even super great too. I had no problem being seen and had no problem seeing you. All right, now, towards these P settings, if you want to go ahead and get into the P settings, you could hold down the plus and minus button. It will take you to a screen that will ask for a code, and you could type in the code, and you get the code from an email after you buy a Ghostcat. Speaking of buying a Ghostcat, please use discount code Colorado to buy any Ghostcat e-bike. It helps me, it helps the channel, and it'll help you, which is the most important thing, right? Now getting back on the display. Okay, so basically the modes are plus and minus. So I could get it up to mode 5, mode 1, mode 0. So you can see it's just super easy, up and down. Keys to the battery. I always leave one at home. I've got a key for my lock and a key for the battery. I really love this little thing right here. Check this out. You know, you put your wallet and your keys, your Viking, all in there. And it's got a place for your phone too. I'm keeping track of everything GPS so we could get an accurate readout when we get back. All right, this is going to be interesting because last time, whoa, this thing's peppy, like peppy. This is a really steep, wobbly, river rocky bed type ride up this hill. The second part is really steep. I may stand up a little just because of the dirt biker in me. Whoa. Okay. Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. That's crazy. Oh man, that was nuts. That's the fastest that anything has ever made up. Now what I like about this, as I see a local cop up here, what I like about this is the pedal part. The part where I could pedal, and you know, it's just kind of just not even noticed. But yeah, that's a lot of reasons why I really like this bike, is because it has that suspension, it has that torque, it has those features to get me places, but it's got those pedals just to kind of keep me out of the eye of the law necessarily. Not that I'm worried about it here, but like you may be more worried about it where you are. And I think that's something that you need to definitely take into consideration, that even if you're not going to use these pedals, having them is absolutely huge. Now, I do want to mention something while we're on the bike path. This is really big to me, is just how nimble this thing is. And the reason I like it being nimble is because you've got to go around a lot of bikers and walkers and pedestrians, and being able to have that super nimble turning and leaning ratio on this bike is super nice. That's a big reason why I really like this bike too. And this thing, just on the bike path right now, just the small bumps, you just don't even know that there's any bumps at all. And it's super amazing just to have that rear floaty suspension. But we're gonna see how this thing handles off-road in a more dirt, gravelly type situation, and see what kind of torque it has too, going up some hills. Let's go. All right, so we're gonna go about 20 miles an hour here, a little bit over 20, and I'm gonna test out the brakes, see what we got. 25 miles an hour, let's go. Oh yeah, man, check that out. We got some skid marks. Oh man, those brakes are something to behold. I mean, check that out. It looks like it was about a good 20 feet there at 25 miles an hour. And those brakes work. It's going up, to the boneyard. The bike path that they've put here in Minturn is absolutely phenomenal. They've really done a lot of work. It goes on up through there. We're gonna go down through here in Minturn, USA. I mean, it's just a lot of gravel. It's just kind of rough and chunky. You know, it's got bigger than normal rocks, broken pavement, big divots. It's just got a lot of really super rough terrain. I mean, like the biggest threat that I would have here would definitely just be getting a flat tire on an old piece of metal or something. But I mean, this terrain is super rough and chunky, so I want to give it a spin. Here's a nice little stretch of pavement. I'll go ahead and put it up in a higher mode here since we are doing a test run. Woo! And even at a high speed, it seems like the suspension is super awesome. Let's see. Wow. Wow, this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. This is super impressive. Wow. Holy cow. We're going over 30 miles an hour, and it is just like riding on a freaking cloud. That's just crazy. Oh my gosh. Wow. 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 Super cool. That's what I do like about this e-bike too. It comes with like some really good knobby, tready tires. And I feel super confident in this kind of terrain with those kind of knobby tires. It's going through here. This gets really chunky through here. I've had a lot of e-bikes that almost feel like they're just going to rattle apart up through here. Wow. Wow. That's, you gotta be kidding me. That's just crazy. All these big old roots. Right, whoa, over that big old boulder. Let's see this boulder right here. Oh, just right over it. Like it, oh man. Check this out. Is this not awesome? Is this not freaking awesome? Honestly, I did not expect to be going through that rough terrain at that speed like that. We'll take a little breather right here, but check it out. That's the Ghostcat F3 e-bike. That's a 52 volt, 1500 watt, 40 amp controller, 20 amp hour battery with suspension for days. The best suspension in the industry by far. The best simple suspension in the industry by far. I don't think Suron's using that on their dirt bikes because it sucks. They've got a super good battery on there. It's really, really sweet. Seems like it's just built super well. I love the USB port on it. These tires that it came with are super adequate to have fun. You could always upgrade tires and things. The brakes are absolutely unbelievable. But the suspension, that seat, And the suspension, this seat works. And the reason this seat works because it's like a dirt bike seat. This narrow fit right here, I'm really liking the seat that comes on it. I may upgrade that seat to Tapia for a little bit more cushion, but it's not necessary, I'll tell you that. I really like the mountain bike handlebars there, the dirt bike inspired kind of aesthetics with the mountain bike aesthetics and the BMX bike aesthetics. Make this bike super cool. I'm really enjoying this review so far. We've got some more things to do, but so far, the nimbleness on the bike path, the torquiness, that initial torquiness that we went up that little hill, just the off-road and that gravel and that rough terrain, just super cool. Let's move on from the banks of the Eagle River here. Is that not gorgeous? I mean, check this out. All right. Well, let's ride around in the dirt here and we'll see what she's got. Oh, wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm riding a dirt bike. Oh my gosh. And you got to really pay attention to this thing, man, because I mean, it will whip out from you. I mean, this thing is powerful. I do suggest when you go over those bigger bumps, you do, stand up a little bit. I think that's kind of smart. This is fun. Oh, we got some air there. Woo. Wow. All right, let's go through here. Oh, whoa, whoa. That's pretty steep. Whoa, whoa. No, that was no problem at all. Unreal. Unreal. This thing's just fun. I don't even know how to begin to explain it, but this is the most fun I've ever had on an e-bike. Uh-oh. This might be dangerous. Ugh. A little bit of a ledge there. All right, let's go on through here. Wow. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. This thing is like a miniature dirt bike. It's gonna be a little bit of a challenge up that hill. All right, I wanna try it with a little bit of speed first. Whoa, just like it was no problem flattening the hills. I wanna go at a dead stop though. All right, I got it. Mode 5. This is a dead stop. I'm going to actually go where I'm actually tilting up right here. This is probably like a 30 degree angle right here, but I'm going to go ahead and just start it at kind of like a little bit of an angle where it's really sitting in the back seat. So let's see what we got. Wow. Wow, just like it's nothing. All right, so what we got here, boys and girls, is a cushy, soft suspension torque monster. All right, let's go on up through here. Let's go. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Wow. This thing is just crazy. This thing is just legit unbelievable. This is the most fun I've ever had on an e-bike. And I've reviewed a lot of e-bikes, and I've ridden just about every e-bike in the industry out there. And this is by far the most fun. It's not even close. Oh man, it's really bumpy through here, so I'm just gonna stay on the seat and just see kind of how it feels with me staying on the seat through here. Wow. Wow. I mean, even wow. Even some of the bigger bumps, you obviously feel them, but just that cushion just really relieves all the shock and all the jolt out of it. So there's no jolt, there's no shock, there's no jarring. That was just kind of the thing that I was missing from all the other e-bikes I have. And this was really just number one on the list, was that suspension and the torque. And it delivers on both. It just delivers on both. The brakes, that's a pleasant surprise. More adequate than what's needed. I mean, the bike weighs 82 pounds, so it's not super heavy. So having those 4-piston 203 millimeter brakes is kind of slight overkill possibly, or just spot on. And it just makes a huge difference. That was amazing. Wow. There's a section up here. that I've been wanting to try out. So let's see how this handles on just some really big gravel. That's super, super impressive. I really have half the mind to take this on the railroad tracks and see what suspension it really has, because I don't know if anybody, check that out. Isn't that cool? So basically, back in the day, everybody thinks it was a cave or whatever, but back in the day, they used to store supplies back in there. When the railroad would come out here, there'd be feet of snow, and it'd be just easier to get the supplies there than have to track and go through the blizzard or the storm, and you pull right up. It's like a drive-through window for the train operators. And look at these train tracks, and look at that Ghostcat. And we're in Minturn, USA, Colorado. There's the water tower, Minturn. I lived here for 7 years. I miss the living crap out of it. Opportunity arises again. You never know. This thing's phenomenal. And another thing I really like about it too, it's just so freaking lightweight that I could really just lift it over the railroad tracks. All right, some of the numbers before we do this. This is either going to be the best idea or the dumbest idea ever. Some of the numbers. Let's see here. We went 5.46 miles. 33 miles per hour is our top speed. That's not too shabby. That's not shabby at all. We've got 54.3 volts still left on this battery. And we're gonna see how this thing handles on the railroad tracks. I mean, check this out. Has anybody ever taken an e-bike on the railroad tracks as like a suspension test? I don't think they have. Huh? There's something for everything. Let's go. Wow. And I'm gonna stay seated. And the suspension is just that good. It's just that good. I mean, that's crazy. Pretty impressive. All right, let's put it back on the gravel here. I mean, that's some honking railroad tracks there, boys and girls. They haven't been used in a while. They haven't been maintained. All right, let's go on this gravel here. You see, this is a huge reason why I wanted something with big suspension on it. This is a huge reason I needed something with torque on it. I think we got a little bit better of a trail over here. The freaking thing just is awesome for a number of reasons. Just because that clearance over those railroad tracks, I'm guessing the clearance of that is like 9-10 inches probably of the clearance. All right, so we went from gravel, now we're going to weeds and brushes and gravel and railroad tracks. So we are taking this thing through probably the most hellacious, Jesus God, the most hellacious freaking suspension test ever. So look at that. Is that not gorgeous? I miss fishing on that thing. So much fun. Super beautiful. There you go up here. It's probably not going to be as invasive. Oh man, it just handles this train just unbelievably great. That way we're just kind of bypassing everything and not really bothered nobody. I don't want to get on the main track there by any means. That is cool. Let's see if we can make it up this little lip here. Awesome. Let's see what kind of trouble we could probably get ourselves into here. Look how beautiful this is. Is that not crazy? That's going to be a ski resort at one time. Yes. Old Bobby was going to build a ski resort up there. It just didn't happen, but that was going to be a ski resort. All right, we've done some suspension tests and some off-road tests. A little bit of some hill climbing and torque tests. A little bit of some speed tests at 33 miles an hour, but I don't think we've really tested this thing out on a hill climb. And I don't really think we've tested it out on the top speed either. So we're gonna go down here to Malloy Park. We're gonna stick in Minturn right here. It's a long stretch up Highway 6. We're gonna see what kind of hill climbing ability this thing has when we get to Malloy Park to the cross-country ski course. But right now, we're gonna see what kind of top speed we get on the Ghostcat F3. Let's go. We got it mode number 5. All right, we're at 25 miles an hour. 30. $35. And we're going uphill right here a little bit, boys and girls. Keep that in mind. Woo, 35 miles per hour. And we've done some hill climbs. That's impressive, man. I mean, we've really put the beans to this bike. And at 52 volts, it was still doing 35 miles an hour. That's crazy. All right, let's go to Malloy Park. And let's see what this thing can do on some steeper terrain. I love this area. It's just, it's magical. I mean, I spend a lot of time up here. And to be able to have like this little adventure bike just to zip around and go on the dirt trails, go on the gravel trails, it's just a freaking lot of fun, man. I mean, this is just a lot of fun. I mean, look at that, man, just like you're on a cloud. Ooh, the nemesis, boys and girls. See this hill right here? This is no joke. This is a real legit hill test. And only one other bike that I've ever ridden made this up this hill, and it struggled somewhat, and it was 170 Newton meters of torque. And this e-bike has 140. All right, let's put it in mode 5. Let's see what you got. Let's go. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, man, we're doing it. Look at this. No way. No. Let's see. Can it go further? Oh, my gosh. This might be, oh, my gosh, the furthest that any e-bike has made it up the monster ever in the history of e-bikes, and it's still going. And it was no problem at all. And it's going to make it. You've got to be kidding me. It made it to the top of the monster. It made it to the top of the monster. We conquered the monster. Oh my gosh. We did. Unbelievable. That is unbelievable. You gotta be kidding me. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. I think we found, boys and girls, the true adventure bike for just numerous reasons. I love this bag. The Viking's safe and sound. All right, according to the 52 volt battery chart here, we're sitting at 51 volts. And 51 volts is bringing us right here at 55% still left on the battery. Amazing. We've went 11.15 miles. So if we've got a little bit over half, let's just say we got twice as much. We're looking at giving it beans, going up hills, 20 miles range. I mean, that's crazy. We're looking at 11.16 miles with 55% battery still left. Top speed 35 miles an hour. We did get up 35 miles an hour, so that's confirmed with the GPS now. But 11.16 miles, 55% battery still left on this bad boy. Let's just say 50%. That's crazy. I mean, check that thing out. That is the Ghostcat F3 sitting on top of a mountain here in Colorado, literally. Right outside of Minturn, USA that way. The high city in North America is that way. That's Leadville, Colorado, sitting at 11,000 feet above sea level. I mean, look at the terrain this thing's going up. That is unbelievable. The true adventure bike, the Ghostcat F3, has definitely delivered. The suspension, that motor in the back, those brakes, they don't lack. Those off-road tires are really helping a lot with those shark skin. I didn't get any punctures, any flats, coming up some really rough, goat-heady area conditions. These brakes, man, I can't say enough about the brakes. Those are amazing. The seating position, the ground clearance. I could go on and on and on about this bike right now. I am really blown away at the performance. Most of all, boys and girls, that was the most fun I've ever had on an e-bike, ever. And I've ridden a lot of e-bikes. That right there, no doubt, is the best bang for your buck, the highest performance e-bike, the most comfortable e-bike, and with no doubt, and it's not even close, it's the most fun e-bike on the market right now. And from what I'm hearing, it's also the most popular e-bike on the market right now. That thing was hard to get. I had to wait a little bit to get that one. I wanted the white and black. There was obvious reasons for it. You'll find out those reasons later on as I customize this thing with some different colors and do some things. I might get a seat from Tapia. I might do some colors incorporated in it. It's just aesthetics, because performance-wise, it doesn't need it. 1,500 watts, 52 volts, 40 amp controller, 20 amp hour battery, Sur-On type suspension, the best in the industry. This e-bike is absolutely phenomenal. I've been waiting on this bike forever. I wanted this bike so bad, and I finally ordered one. That e-bike is no doubt the most popular e-bike in the industry right now, and there are a million reasons why it is. This company not only provides you with the best performing e-bike in the industry for the price, the most comfortable e-bike in the market for the price, the most fun e-bike in the market for the price, but what this company offers that sets them way above and beyond anything else is their customer service. Those people answer the phone, they answer the email, they get back to you, they help you out. It's the after the sale that sold me 100% on this company. It's a win-win situation for me and the Colorado Adventure Channel to have a bike like this, to go do the things like this that no other e-bike that I have could come up these hills that we came up. That's crazy. Like it was nothing, flattening the hills. It's like the Dukes of Hazzard, man. Anyways, this is the Ghostcat F3 e-bike. It's the most fun I've ever had on an e-bike. It is the best performing e-bike for the money on the market right now. It is the most popular e-bike on the market right now. Now, if you want a deal on this bike runs $1949 right now. I have a discount code Colorado to bring it down to $1849. That's below $1,900. And you could also check with your local municipal community and see what kind of local state discounts and rebates that you could get as well after you purchase this e-bike. But go ahead and get you one, get you two, get you three now before they are out. That's the Ghostcat F3 e-bike, the most fun e-bike in the industry. If you like this video, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Until our next adventure on the Ghostcat F3, this is Chris from the Colorado Adventure Channel. Peace.